one of the most indisputable facts which none of us can deny, that all of us have two things, namely the color of our blood, which is red, and our bones, which are white. Perhaps, as also can be seen by the very simple dress I'm wearing today, which shows the color red for blood and white for bones, and for most human beings and various other species of the animal kingdom, also the color of their teeth, provided, of course, in the case of human beings, they are properly maintained. And unless we are cremated after our death or demise, we all have one thing in common, that is the color of our bones, which are white. In other words, whether we belong to a certain community or certain race, a certain group, or belong to a group having certain shades of color, we have something which none of us can deny. That is, we are human beings, and thus incorporated into the world community as a whole. And although my Latin is not sound enough, yet if I understood those two words or two maxims in Latin quite clearly, namely, civis mundi, or citizens of the world, or corpus terrae, the body of the earth, we have this in common. And this should not offend anybody, even the theologians, particularly in recalling the fact that in the first book of the Torah, or the Holy Bible known as the Book of Genesis, it is quite clearly stated there that God created man from the dust. And therefore we are a part of this earth, which of course ensues and ensures that when something happens to any of us belonging to this earth, we cannot simply wash our hands and say we are not answerable or responsible, or at least we cannot simply disregard those facts. Indeed, whether this be a train accident which caused so many casualties in our country hardly 48 hours ago, or the devastations caused in various other parts of the world, we need to share the grief of others. And being the citizens of the world, as civis mundi, or belonging to the earth community or the world's community, even the body of the earth, or corpus terrae, we all are called upon to respond. 4th of June is one of those days which should be remembered, because on this particular day of the Gregorian year 1989. Too many innocent young people were called upon to pay with their dear lives for doing nothing wrong, but simply speaking out against a regime, a vicious regime, which threatens the world even today. Yes, they were innocent human beings exercising their human rights in speaking out and speaking up against the vicious practices of a vicious regime. Likewise, today, so many years later, on this 4th of June of this current Gregorian year 2023, all of us are called upon to speak out and speak up, even on behalf of those victims who are unable to speak out or speak up on their own, or even are too frightened to do so in fear of the grave consequences with which they may be confronted. We are their fellow citizens of this world. They are our fellow citizens. We need to speak out against various types of wrong, which continues today. The commission of which continues today. Whether this be human trafficking and illegal slavery, oppressing the weak and the feeble and enslaving them, destroying the innocent, attacking countries which are perhaps weaker than the attackers, preventing others from speaking out, even for natural justice and equity for all, even their fellow citizens, their fellow global citizens, their own communities, their own genders, and those of their kind. If we do not do so, we deny ourselves to be worthy human beings, befitting our world. Even we have no claim of being called true human beings, simply because it is humanity which makes us human beings. And indeed, true humanity, I mean the practicing of the same, make us worthy human beings, worthy of our human births. I do not venture to bring in an open, fiery lamp into this room in fear of some kind of fire accidents. But I, as a symbol for those who were oppressed even to death, and those who are being persecuted today, oppressed, exploited, enslaved, abused, killed. I simply want to light an electric torch lamp, which should show my solidarity for others. And symbolically, I